Well, the League of Women's Voters of Freeport held a meeting Tuesday to discuss election integrity as we head into fall's midterm election. Illinois State Board of Election spokesperson Matt Dietrich's presentation is called Navigating the Noise. He discussed election verification processes and voter machine cybersecurity. Dietrich opened the floor to questions about issues some people have going into the midterms.
It can be very much a distraction, a discouragement to voters who would otherwise come out. And we want to assure them what's going on here in the state of Illinois, but specifically Stephenson County.